Okay, so first we are going to draw the AR curve. So make sure you draw a parallel line over here. And mark this as D equals AR equals MR. This is step 1. Okay, fine, dear, I'm recording. Right. Now, once you finish drawing your AD equals AR equals MR, now we are going to draw the short run average total cost. I'm going to take this a little bit above here. So that I can show the impact. So let me mark it again. D equals AR equals average revenue equals marginal revenue. Now, in order to get a supernormal profit in the short run, I should make sure that my cost is below my AR and MR. Therefore, I'm going to draw my short run average total cost curve. So this is my short run average cost or average total cost curve. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to draw my short run average variable cost curve. So make sure your short run average variable cost is below your short run average total cost, and it should be parallel. So this is my short run average variable cost. Now, once I'm done with this, I'm prepared to draw my marginal cost curve. So make sure I pick the minimum points of these two curves. I'm going to connect these first. And then I'm going to construct my marginal cost curve. Now, I'm going to apply the rule. Now, what is the rule? We're going to find out some important points on top of this. So the first point is my marginal cost should be equal to marginal revenue. The marginal cost equals marginal revenue is at this point. I'm going to mark this as H. Next, I'm going to find, or I'm going to draw the dotted lines below. Once I'm drawn with the dotted line, I mark this as Q. Now my next rule is to find this dotted line connecting with my short run average total cost curve. That is approximately this point. I'm going to mark this as G. Once I'm done with that, Now I'm going to draw a dotted line towards my left. Now I'm going to name these with some letters. This point as E and this point as F. Now the area EHGF, this represents the supernormal profit of a firm in the short run. Now we are going to look into short-run operations at a loss for a perfectly competitive market. So first of all, you draw the demand curve. So D equals average revenue equals marginal revenue. Now here, we're going to apply the rule where a perfectly competitive firm will make a loss when short-run average cost curve is greater than the average revenue curve. So let's see how to construct the curves to find out if the firm is making a loss. So first I'm going to draw the short-run average total cost curve or short-run average cost curve. So this is my short-run average total cost. Now I'm going to draw the short-run variable cost curve which touches the AR curve, and it should be parallel to the previous one. So this is my short-run average variable cost. Once I'm done with this, I decide to draw the marginal cost curve. Now, you can see my short-run average total cost is above AR curve, whereas my short-run average variable cost curve is touching the AR curve or the demand curve or MR curve. Once I'm done with this, I look for the minimum points of these two curves. And now I'm going to construct my marginal cost curve. Now, again, we are going to apply the same rule. First of all, we are looking into where MC equals MR. So let's apply the same rule that we had before. And I'm going to extend this line a little bit above. Now, let's mark the important points. So the first point that I'm going to mark is the letter G. This is where my marginal cost is equal to average revenue or marginal revenue. And then I'm going to mark another point where my dotted line touches the short run average cost curve. this point as H. Now I'm going to extend this line from H towards this axis. And this, I'm going to mark it as point E and this area as F. Now let's figure out the area where the firm is making a loss. So this specific area is the area where the firm is making a loss. Why is it making a loss? Because you can clearly see that your short run average cost is higher than, the blue line is higher than the brown line. So this is one of the reasons why the firm is making a loss. Now let's see how to write a conclusion for this diagram. The figure gives another possible situation. Here the firm is making a loss at its equilibrium profit maximizing, or in this case, loss minimizing level of output 0Q. This is your Q. Okay. Where MC equals MR. Price of OF is lower than the average cost. Hence, the firm makes a total loss of EFGH. The firm will stay in production if this loss is smaller than the loss it would make if it shut down. Example, so long as average revenue is above average variable cost. Now we are looking into normal profit, and in this case your short run average total cost curve would be equal to the D curve. So this is how the curve is going to look like, and then next we are going to derive the average variable cost curve, which can be below this point and parallel to ATC. So this is my short run average variable cost. Now next I'm going to draw my marginal cost curve, but I should ensure that I mark the minimum points of these two curves in order to derive the marginal cost curve. So this is my marginal cost curve. Now, the rules which I need to apply is where my MR should be equal to MC. MR equals MC. So where is that point? MR equals MC is exactly this particular point. So you can see here, MR is equal to MC equal to my demand curve equal to my AR curve, therefore equal to MR curve. Therefore, at point, let me mention it as G. At point G, the firm in a perfectly competitive market makes a normal profit. Now let's see to write the conclusion. Now here demand is equal to average revenue equal to marginal revenue. Also, it's perfectly elastic. At point G, MR is equal to MC equal to short run average total cost curve. your average revenue is equal to your average total cost. Therefore, the firm is making a normal profit at point G. Right, now we are taking two specific situations. The one over here on the left side is the industry supply and demand curve. And on the right side, this one you can find a firm's demand and supply curve. If one single firm is deciding to double its output, of course, its supply will increase, pushing down that firm's price. However, it's not going to make a greater impact in the industry's supply curve. This can be seen in figure 2. The area around the existing equilibrium point has been enlarged. Enlarged point is where I drew and explained right now. An increase in supply by one firm has shifted the supply curve from S1 to S2, reducing equilibrium price by AC, and increasing equilibrium quantity demand and supply by CB. However, AC is so small that it has no effect on the overall equilibrium price OE or 0E, and it is impossible to draw two supply curves thinly enough to show the shift in the supply. So no matter one firm increasing the supply, it's not going to make a big difference in the industry's demand and supply curve. However, if many firms are going to do it, definitely it will have a greater impact. In agriculture, for instance, it would be surprising if the decision of one farmer to increase production of wheat by 2 times had any influence on the equilibrium price. His or her extra output is so insignificant to the total supply that it cannot affect the market price for wheat. Of course, if all farmers were to double their wheat output, the price of wheat would fall by a very large amount. However, here we are interested only in the effect on price of production decisions of a single firm. So that's about demand and supply. A firm in a perfectly competition can therefore expand output and reduce output without influencing the price. The firm cannot choose to raise price and expect to sell its product. It can lower its price, but there is no advantage in this since it can sell its entire output at a higher market price. The demand curve for an individual firm is therefore horizontal, perfectly elastic. So that's how we have constructed the curve where demand is equal to average revenue equal to MR. So this is how your demand or AR MR curve will look like in a perfectly competitive market. So the price, since they are price takers, the price will be fixed. And this is how the curve for demand for AR average revenue or marginal revenue is going to look like.